we may as well talk about the NRL, which is back this week. Apparently, it's going to be the saviour of the game because it's going to be on American TV, which means all the Americans are going to pick up on it and think rugby league's great until all their other sports are back, and then they forget about rugby league. Like they did with the AFL a month or so back when that was on. I think Pat McPhee, the former NFL player turned broadcaster, was all excited about this mad, wacky sport with these Australians in vests kicking the ball between these sticks at the end. And now no one cares about the AFL in America again. But the NRL is back. We care about it at least. We're realists. And John, who's going to win? Obviously, Manly.
Well, I'll tell you who's not going to be playing. That's Bronson Xerri.
Yeah.
Because he's been on the roids. And yeah.
Until his B sample comes through, yeah.
He's in big trouble. And considering, he could have been playing. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Allegedly positive test. But yeah, big blow for Cronulla. It's quite kind of weird because we had 2 rounds and then everything stopped. So it's really hard to know who's going to be up there. I mean, you'd think that the usual names, the Roosters, Canberra, Melbourne, South, but it could be someone like a Brisbane Broncos who, they've got a very, very good squad. And I think Newcastle, new coach, they looked quite good in the early rounds. They've just re-signed, or about to re-sign Kalen Ponga to a $8 billion deal, which is good news in terms of you won't be going to rugby union or play for the All Blacks. So, it's quite open, and you just don't really know who's been training hard. Who's been off on June buggies shooting things in the bush as well.
John looks like he's on a flight to Australia at the moment. He's so relaxed.
Reclined.
I think Newcastle's big signing for me is Andrew McCullough. I think that's a fantastic signing. Really underrated hooker. Played over 200 games with Brisbane, but will get them around the park. But yeah, because it's such an open competition, I think that's why we're all going to watch it. And we're all going to go, it's not quite the same without the crowd, but people will pick a team like they have been doing with the Bundesliga. Once it's back, you won't not be able to watch it and even pick the side with the best colours. So, Cronulla will get some new fans and watch out a bit for Parramatta because I think they're the bolters maybe.
Yeah,
go Broncos.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree that you have to watch out for Parramatta there. I think Parramatta started the competition as well as anybody. And, with the NRL only using 6 venues until round 9, Parramatta, although there's not going to be fans there, Parramatta will have the home comforts of their own stadium at Bankwest, as will Brisbane at Suncorp. So those squads might have a little bit of a slight advantage, but they've got, some really good quality players, Parramatta. And from what I saw in the opening 2 games, they looked really strong. But the one thing you can always say about the NRL is it's anything but predictable. There tends to be another, you do get the Melbournes, the Sydney Roosters that are in the conversation most years, but there's always inevitably another club that makes a surge from nowhere the previous year. So I agree with John. It's very difficult to try and predict it at the moment.
And half the number of referees as well, of course, the most important people involved in rugby league.
No, absolutely.
So rugby league is back. That's exciting. As you mentioned, Phil, with the Bundesliga, I hope that our social media people at Super League and the RFL, if they're still employed at the moment, do that kind of, here's your random generator of a team for when rugby league is back over here, because we will be, in the forefront of the world of sport, perhaps, and people might want to watch us, unless they're watching the snooker, which also starts next week. Barry Hearn saying
the NRL can't get shown in Perth at the moment, so never mind hoping that it might be in all ports in America.